Hey folks, welcome to Spiritually Addicted, the episode 14. Today is going to be about how living life and taking risks helps rewire your brain in sobriety. What I really want to do is, as always, it's your host Josh Jovanovic. I want to go over how a couple things about taking risks, building a community, how that helps you stay sober, but then also holds you accountable to stay sober so that you're able to continue on your path. So today we're going to talk about embracing life, taking calculated risks in sobriety so that we can help our mental health, so that we can help our personal growth, and so that we can have a lasting recovery. Because a lot of these things come from the fact that we are so used to one way of living that you have created a pattern in yourself that we are unaware of all of life and how things are happening for you and not to you. And it took me a long time to realize this. About a year and a half ago, I was on a recovery journey, 2 years ago almost, on a recovery journey. I had a spiritual awakening that brought me into a path that I wasn't aware of what I was doing. I just knew that something had to change. I had all these issues. I had all these mental blockages. I had a miserable pattern of existence that brought me down a path that I was not happy with. And what I started to listen to and started to think about was my intuition was telling me, we're going to go on a quest. We're going to go on this idea of how we can start to become the best version of ourselves. And I didn't know what that meant. I never could have guessed it would have been where I am today. I'm in a park in Florida. There is a rehab outing going on right down there. Those are the type of communities I'm talking about building. We need to come together as a society, as a group, and understand that addiction is a strength and a gift. When you conquer it, it is not a weakness, and there is nothing to judge yourself about, because what I found to be was I was very guarded. I was very closed off to the idea that there's more out there to life than just working, retiring, going through life, going through motions. There's so much more, so much more. And what I really want to do is I want to start off by saying that I took a big risk. I had a spiritual awakening where I met my higher power in person. I'm not talking about I met my higher power as in like I felt something. I saw and had a meeting with my higher power through meditation that showed me that what I needed to do was I need to start with self-love. Self-love starts a process that it will make you unrecognizable. And if I can do this, anyone can do it. Again, I healed eczema, I healed asthma, I healed autoimmune issues, I healed mental blockages. And now I understand that all of that came from loving myself first, understanding a loving pattern for myself, and now understanding that I can share that gift, share the gift of sobriety, the frequency of sobriety with the world. Because what happens with sobriety is you this powerlessness that everybody talks about, yes, maybe in the beginning that's true, but after a certain time period, I can't speak for everyone, but I know for a fact I am powerful over all of it. It does not bug me, it does not bother me, it does not annoy me, it does not get to me. Yes, I have thoughts, but I don't think about that kind of shit anymore. I think more about what I can do to help others, what I can do to get out of my own way today and let my higher power come in and help me get through things. And what I've come to notice is the more that I've rewired my brain to think this way, the less and less I even think about drugs or alcohol. They're not even in my life anymore. Drugs and alcohol used to be the number one thing. How could I wake up in the morning, do some kratom, take an Adderall, drink a Red Bull, do it again at noon? Then how could I get to Wednesday so I could go to the bar and drink and do trivia? And then how could I get to Friday so that I could meet my buddies at 3 o'clock and we could have lunch and I could drink to oblivion, do it again Saturday, hope that Sunday's okay, just sit there and do nothing good for myself. My higher power came to me and said, you need to start doing better for yourself. You need to understand your patterns. You need to understand your brain chemistry. And then we're going to start to work this in a slow fashion. It is a process. There is no finish line to get to. But as you continue to expand, I'm going to help you grow. And the best way I can describe my higher power to you is this. I had to understand that I was surrendering to something, that I've never really been in control of anything, and that I needed to surrender to something. So what did I do? I took my love for others and started to focus it more on myself first, because how could I truly love somebody else or love others if I wasn't showing myself the same love? And I decided, all right, if I'm going to surrender this power or this control over to something, I want to understand what it is. And it's a God of my understanding, because I am not religious but extremely spiritual. And I will tell you that my higher power is a couple things. One, I wrote this down. By the way, write this down. See how some of these qualities start to come to the forefront for you, and you'll notice that, oh, my connection to my higher power that I'm channeling through are these type of aspects of myself that my higher power is trying to tell me, use these for your life, for your growth process. And what I came to notice is my higher power is one. Let's start off with number one, first and foremost, it is loving. It is so loving. When I felt this energy, it was blissful. It was extremely loving. It had no judgment. It had no resentment. It just said, I'm going to help you. And I heard this telepathically. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you something that you are then going to give away to others because this is going to help other people. And what I've come to know about this love is once I started to truly love myself, I now can't, and I see myself and others all the time now, how can I possibly not love others when I understand how hard it was to build myself up and to fully love myself? Because we're all going through something different. I see myself in everyone that walks around the streets or goes to different meetings or comes to the rehab. I see myself in everyone, and I understand that suffering is part of life, or pain is, I should say. Suffering does not have to be. And now I don't suffer anymore, which is nice. Yes, I have pain points, and yes, I go through things, but way easier than I used to because my higher power taught me how to love myself, how to love myself. And when I started to love myself, I healed things. I healed my eczema. I healed my asthma. I healed my autoimmune issues. I healed my bent over back that I walked with. I healed my gut because my gut had all these things from all the antibiotics and drinking and drugs I did over my life. And I promise you this, I promise you, if I can go 13 years of being an addict and alcoholic and no longer think about those things, you can change too. It just takes small upgrades each day to continue being the best version of yourself, because you don't even know how great that version is. You have no idea. But there's a version of you right now that exists that is going, come on, you got this. Just keep moving forward, keep going forward. That is my mantra. If I get in my head, it is just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And as I do that, I am rewiring my brain to understand that drugs and alcohol are not the thing for me anymore. And the things that I now focus on are much more geared for love and helping others, because that's who I truly am. So that was my first step, understanding how to love myself, understanding how to be introspective, and understanding what my patterns were, why they weren't loving, how I can be more loving to myself. And now I just shine love. That is me now. I am a spiritually awakened person who understands there is so much suffering in this world, and I'm going to help relieve as much as I can of it. But that helps my sobriety more than really anything, is understanding I now fully love myself, I fully love my spiritual journey, and I fully love others the way I love myself. How could I possibly love others if I didn't love myself first? That was number one. Number two, my higher power is creative. I have been a nomad for 238, 240, 241 days since I left Philly back in April. And every step of the way, I had no job, no money, no nothing. I just had my higher power telling me, get out of here, get to Florida, go there. You need to start helping people. Ever since I've been here, yes, I've slept in my car here and there. Yes, I've slept on the beach here and there. There's been Airbnbs. I stayed with my girlfriend. But I started this podcast. I started speaking at meetings. I started speaking at my rehab. I started becoming a version of me that I knew existed, but was too afraid to go ahead and step into that power. Now I'm stepping into that power. When you step into it, your life changes. People come into your life. Places come into your life. Events come into your life. It is a process. Again, these are all processes, but my higher power is the second thing, is creative. I am creating all around me. I'm creating new energy. I'm creating new patterns. I'm creating new beliefs. All my old beliefs are scattering because they are not true. The new ones are the ones that are truly me. The third thing that my higher power told me that we are joyful. I find joy in the smallest things. I have fasted a lot, and now I have a joy in eating. When I eat, I have so much joy in it. I have a joy in a relationship that I'm in. I was by myself for 4 or 5 years after a really rough divorce that I pushed people away. And until I could love myself, my higher power was like, I can't bring you another person. How can I bring you another person? You'll ruin it. I want to give you the best version of someone that can be with you, but until you love yourself, I can't do that. And now I have that person in my life. And the reason I have that person is because I love myself so much. My higher power said, you're not going to know when or how, but I'm going to send you this. I took a wrong turn to go to the gym. Instead, I went to a cryotherapy, and this woman that I am now with was up from Florida in Delray, where I am, for one weekend, stopped by her cryotherapy place she used to work for 5 minutes just to say hi and do a cryotherapy session, and I took a wrong turn. We hit it off on a go fish joke, and now I'm living in Florida with her a year later. And I love the fact that I'm able to be available for a relationship. I'm able to love somebody else because I love myself. I'm able to not freak out or get angry about things and see things for how they are and understand what a woman goes through versus what I go through. And we talk about things now. So I was able to be given love because of the fact that I was able to not only give but receive love. So that was one of the other things that really helped for me. But joy in everyday aspects of things. I find joy in the smallest things anymore. Joy in helping another. Joy in giving good advice. Joy in going to a meeting and sharing. Joy in sitting at the beach right now. These things weren't me. I was sitting in an office right now at 2:12 in the afternoon on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. 100%, I'd just be thinking about drinking tonight and drinking tomorrow. Not now. Now I'm thinking about how great today is. We're going to go look at an apartment. I went to 2 meetings already today. I'm doing a sobriety podcast in the middle of a beach that I would have never been to, but because I took steps, I know that my journey is meant for me, and on that journey, I will continue to get signs and synchronicities to bring me into the right area. So the fourth thing for me was abundance. Now, this is hard for a lot of people to accept because when people hear abundance, they hear that abundance needs to be money. That is not true. Abundance comes in all fashions of life, but abundance comes in information. I am always channeling my higher power through meditation, through prayer, through other people's words. And as I get those abundant things, so information is one of them. Having my car work consistently and having a place to sleep, abundant. Abundance in the community that I'm building around people in different meetings I go to, in the rehab that I go to, people I'm meeting through pickleball and through basketball and at the gym. That's another form of abundance. Abundance through teachers that have come into my life, different yogis, different yoga teachers, different mental teachers, different spiritual teachers. That's another form of abundance. So these abundant things that I never saw before as abundance, I used to just think it was money. That's what drove my life. Now what drives my life is continuing on my spiritual process because I don't give a shit about drinking and drugging anymore. That is not me. And I am now more abundant in what I allow into my life. And the other thing is calm, serenity, and peace. That is one of the biggest things that has ever come to me. My thoughts ran everything. I didn't understand that my thoughts did not have to be the guiding factor in my life to take action on things. Karma comes from the word action, or action comes from the word karma. It's a Sanskrit word. So yes, you can pray, yes, you can meditate in these things, but God is not just going to give you what you're asking for in life. You can get there, but you have to take action and steps towards that process. So what I'm saying is, with the right kind of love, with the right kind of action, with the right kind of empathy, you will start to notice your world changes. You are rewiring your brain to understand new things about yourself and about others, and that's where the consciousness upgrade starts to come in. That's one thing that I did not have before. Let's change this light a little bit because there's a lot of sun here today. Let's skip this over a little. So what now comes to me is I get different messages from different areas of my life. I will understand that, hey, let's change it over here actually. I now know that my higher power wants me to sponsor people. I know my higher power wants me to continue working at the rehabs and learning more about them. I know my higher power wants me to continue doing better for others. And what I've come to do every day is I do hard shit so that other stuff doesn't even come up. Like, for instance, yesterday was a weird energy day across the planet. And instead of sitting there loathing, I went to the sauna, I went to the beach. Now the beach wasn't hard, but still I was struggling a little bit, but I understood that it was only temporary, it wasn't gonna last. And what happens for me is when I understand these temporary adjustments in energy, it is just me upgrading myself to a better version that is existing every day. I did not understand what this process was going to bring. But if I can change from who I was, and anybody that, if you ever met me before this process started, would have said, I even said to myself, to my dad, I will never not drink and do drugs. I said it because it's the only thing that makes me happy. Now I know that is not right. That is not me. My version, the version of me did not exist last year. It is a thriving, loving, kind version of myself that just wants to share this gift with other people. Because what I really started to do was I broke free from old patterns. I decided that it was something that if I was going to go on this path, I have to hold myself accountable. But because of the community I've built, they hold me accountable, which is good. I don't want to be the person that falls apart. I don't want to be the person that can't do things, because that's not me. I am not a can't person. When you learn that you don't have to be a can't person either, you will start to understand that there is a way of doing this. And the way of doing this is doing one small thing all the time that is either better for your health, better for the people around you, better for your mental struggles that you go through, because your thoughts are not you. When you justify your thoughts, that's what a lot of addiction stems from, is we are either, one, you haven't addressed any trauma that you've gone through, and once that's dissipated, there is no more trauma. But two, your thoughts bring you to a place because even if it's uncomfortable, even if drinking and drugging is uncomfortable, you are comfortable in that zone because you know what it feels like. You need to change those thoughts. There is no changing it without taking action. And every day it takes something new. At first, I used to look in the mirror and I would go, I love you, I love you, I love you. Even on the second day, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But consistently over time, building a new pattern, I continued to change the brain waves and the brain functioning that I had. And I continued to go down the path of, I'm going to do better no matter what this brings me. I don't care about that. I care about the fact that I know I am meant for more, and I know that if I continue to go down this path, that something great will come from it, because I am too great of a person to not have something great come from this, especially with my connection with my higher power. Now, the other thing that I'll say is, what really helped me was understanding how much shit we put in our bodies. I don't care if you think this or not, part of your addiction comes from all the shit you are putting in your body, the foods you eat, the water you drink, the way you treat yourself, the lack of exercise, the lack of community you build, the lack of, while also eating immense amounts of sugar and not thinking about it. What I noticed and what my higher power told me was, I'm going to heal you from the inside, but I'm going to need you to start understanding that this all comes from doing better for yourself. What do I do now? I eat one, maybe 2 meals a day, maybe, but usually one, I try. I eat healthy fruits, organic fruits, almonds, raw vegetables, sauerkraut, things that maybe I didn't love before. I love them now because I got used to eating a healthy diet. That other shit doesn't help. It is creating worse situations for you in your mind. So being healthy also helps. There's so much that goes into this that if you just did some research, took some action, and really tried for 30 fucking days, 30 days, that's all you got to do is 30 days, give yourself a 30-day window and watch how in 30 days, if you truly stick to a plan, whether that be journaling, whether that be health, whether that be more water that you're going to consume, whether that be grounding and going to the beach, whether that be finding new individuals that are good for you in your life. Stick to 30 days of the best thing you can do for yourself, the best you can in every decision. I'm not saying be a robot, but if you want to walk, take a walk. If you're laying around and you want to journal, journal. If you want to eat something, eat something. But do whatever feels best for the next 30 days and watch your life start to change around you, because you will understand that, oh shit, I can change this much in a short time frame. You will understand that those patterns you've created are your own patterns that you can break at any time. They are your patterns, they are your beliefs, and I promise you, if you saw me a couple years ago, you would have said, there is no way he'll ever break those patterns. But my higher power said, you need to do some other things or I can't help you, because you will continue to be the same version of you. I will unconditionally give you that version of love if you want it. But if you learn to unconditionally love yourself, unconditionally love others, I will unconditionally give you more positive things in your life, because that's naturally where the brain changes. Your thoughts are better. Your health is better. The version of you that exists is just better than it was before. This version of me did not exist. It is a version that wants to be a part of other people's lives, to show them here is a gift that God has given to us, to be sober, to enjoy life, to know there's more than the same old, and my life has exploded since then in the best way possible. I have all these different people in my life now that I would have never had before. I have a new girlfriend, girlfriend of a year now, that I pushed away for so long. Not her, but women in general. I have a journey, 240 days of not knowing where I'm going to go, not knowing where I'm going to stay, and still having the availability to trust in my higher power, to trust in things. And as I'm talking to you, it's 2:22 on the clock. I am in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing. These are things that pop up in your life that God wants you to know you are on the right path. Just do a little bit better and watch your world change. You do not have to. It is up to you. But I promise you, the rewards are so much greater. You can choose one of two things. You can choose the comfort of being hard and staying in the heart of, hey, I'm going to drink and do drugs. Or you can choose the new hard, which is improving every day a little bit. Because watch, I guarantee you, in a month, give it 30 days, you are going to work as hard as you can on yourself. Watch how much you change in 30 days. You will not want to go back, because you're like, I've come too far. You will continue to work this process. Now, what I will say is, it is not easy. You have to put work in. That's one thing my higher power told me too, is you are not going to be a brand new version every single minute of every single day. But what you will do is you will see progress. You will see growth. You will be grateful for the growth, because now it is something that exponentially grows each day. And what I do hope for all of you is, know that sobriety is not only possible, it is so fun to be sober, because there's so many other things in life that my brain wouldn't process, because I was stuck in that same energy pattern, same energy loop. So a couple recommendations I have for you. One, step out of your comfort zone. Go do shit that makes you uncomfortable. I do shit all the time now that makes me uncomfortable. I never wanted to speak. I never wanted to work at the rehab. I never wanted to go to meetings. I never wanted to play pickleball. I never really wanted to do cryo and the sauna, but I did all those things. And now I just am the new version of myself. 2, try new activities or hobbies. You can't stay in the same energy pattern and expect things to change. Do new things. You don't even know what you like. You just like a couple things. Try new things. You may find something you love. Have difficult conversations. Nobody in the sobriety community, there's very few people that are going to go, I hope they fail. Everybody wants you to succeed. We all love you. We want to help you. Push past fear or failure, because they are not real. You are not failing. You are just experiencing. And by failure, or considered failure, you are pushing through fear, and you are experiencing something that, all right, I didn't make it there, but I'll go here, because now I follow my passion in all ways. I just had a deja vu moment while I'm doing this. I am now pushing through fear and discomfort. I don't even see those words anymore. They are not real in my life. What is real is continuing to grow. I look at fear and failure now as just growth. That's all they are. They're not even words. It's just growth. Continue to grow, continue to expand, continue to love, continue to be you. Keep being the best version of yourself every day. Try new things. Share some things on this podcast. Share what you do. Share what maybe some other people might find beneficial, because there's a whole sober community out there that loves you, that wants to help you. But we need to continue working on ourselves. It will not come from sitting around doing nothing, eating shitty foods. You have to change. And when you change, watch your life and people in it just continue to expand. The opportunities you get expand. And what I will leave you with is this. Start today with doing whatever you love. Your passion is your higher power sending you an energy like, hey, do this now, try this. You are not going to see every door. You are not going to see every opportunity. But you will find that your higher power will start to bring you down a path of like, all right, that makes more sense. Oh, okay, this is making more sense, because I can promise you, when I started this journey, I was timid. I did not want to speak. And now I can't wait to speak in front of people, because I know what sobriety can bring. All right? So I love all of you. Please share in the comments, share this video. We want to get this out to as many people as we can to stop judging ourselves about sobriety. It is a strength and a gift when you get through it, because it is then a strength that no one else can handle, only you can. Give this to a regular sober person or a normal person. Watch their life fall apart, not you. You have been through the worst. Better days are on the horizon, all right? Again, share, comment. Love you all. Talk to you on the next episode.